Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, what an unpleasant surprise for Lesnar.
The face Brock did not want to see.
The special counsel for the tribal chief, Paul Heyman. What a great amount of history between these two men. For many years, Heyman was Lesnar's advocate.
Yeah, I assure you, we on the island of relevancy are booing as well. We've gone. Speaking of hogs, well, that's not downright Texas neighborly of you. We've gone. Listen, despite our differences, Brock Lesnar does not suck. Ladies and gentlemen,
Three little piggies went to town. Oink, oink, oink. Are you going to say something worthwhile here, Paul?
You know what bothers me? We've gone from the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time to the most barbaric SummerSlam of all time, and that plays right into your hands. The odds-on favorite. If you're a betting man, who are you betting on for SummerSlam in a last man standing match? Brock Lesnar. Why? Because Roman Reigns defined his greatness by athletically beating down, smashing the opposition, pinning them, making them tap out in athletic competition. But we, for 20 years, we defined Brock Lesnar's legacy by annihilating people, by putting them down for good, by taking them out of action, by breaking their necks, by conquering streaks, by ending careers. So if Brock Lesnar has to put Roman Reigns down for the count of 10, that's what Brock Lesnar is going to do. It doesn't matter to Brock Lesnar if he puts Roman Reigns down for 10, or if he's so violent he puts Roman Reigns down for 100. He doesn't care if he sends Roman Reigns to the hospital or if he sends Roman Reigns to the morgue. That's not a man. That's a beast. That's a hog slaughterer. That's an annihilator. That is an avenging badass that wants revenge against my tribal chief. I'm going to give you my word on something. We are approaching 700 days of Roman Reigns as the champion. And Brock Lesnar, this is one streak you will not conquer. Because I will have Roman Reigns ready for you at SummerSlam to put you down. If I have to train Roman Reigns to stick his hand up your ass and pull your heart out through that hole, that is what my tribal chief is going to do to something like you.
How you doing? This is the Corn Man, CornBoi, aka Captain Terrorist. You are listening to Sit Down Marks. with DP, Primo, and AJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the grip wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
What's going on, my people? It is the Sit Down Marks, your boys. That's right, AJ, Primo, and DB back here. Episode number 72. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate everybody checking in with us today. Want to thank TW Ward, as usual, the good old voice of Memphis Wrestling. Speaking of my co-host, AJ, how's it going today, my brother?
Oh, it's great. It's been a fun day. I've had a lot of fun today. I don't know. It's been a normal day.
I smell the exaggeration.
No, it was great. I loved it.
No?
It was fun.
Well, how about our co-host? Well, the one that we used to know as Primo, but today he is Patriot Primo with his America's Lucha Daddy mask on, the old red, white, and blue. What's happening, brother? Three-time Kurt Angle champ.
That's right. The three-time champ is here. America's Lucha Daddy, a Patriot Primo, is in the house. Episode 72. Welcome, one and all.
How is your voice muffled? There's a mouth hole in that Lucha Daddy mask.
I had my mask on for a minute, too. It's itchy.
Your mask was beautiful. I like your mask.
It was very nice. I feel bad that I have no mask.
I've actually, well, you're not going to pull the curtain here, but we'll talk about that later.
All right. Well, thank everybody listening on all the podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google, all those. We appreciate all the support on all those, and we appreciate any review that you would leave us on any of those platforms. So, tell you what, let's see what the old Pop of the Pod has for us today, the jukebox. Let's see what it has here. Get it ready.
Jukity box? Where are you?
Hello?
Jukity box?
The best ever Nakamura music.
Did you put that on there specifically for me so I could get a boner while we're doing the podcast?
Yes,
boner.
we want you to.
That is one of my favorite
music
music.
in the podcast.
It is easily one of the best songs ever.
Yes.
Well, I guess
Far
the old
and away.
jukebox, after pissing you off for a couple weeks, wanted to get back on your good side. So hadn't
you,
played any
Jukebox.
Nakamura in a while. So there you go.
I love it so much. It's one of the best.
AJ, you got any wrestling history today?
You know, I believe I do. I do have some wrestling history. Got some good ones, too.
All right.
First, we're going to start with the Battle of the Dicks in 1979.
Slater?
Was it Steamboat?
By the way, Dick Blood. By the way, today is, I almost said March. It's not fucking March. July 13th. Today is July 13th. And in 1979 on this day, which again is July 13th, Battle of the Dicks. Couple of wangs fighting. Dick Murdoch defeats Dick the Bruiser to win back the NWA Missouri Heavyweight title in St. Louis.
Captain Redneck, Dick Murdoch.
Dick Murdoch, and he beat Dick the Bruiser. That's one bruising dick.
So he was beating a dick.
A dick was beating another dick. It's weird how that.
Captain Redneck was a real nickname too.
Was it really?
Yes.
I love wrestling.
Maybe not at this iteration, but he was at some point. Yeah.
So we have the historic WCW Bash at the Beach in 1997, where main event saw Lex Luger and the Giant beat Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman. Why was WCW a company in the 90s? Jesus fucking Dennis Rodman. Yeah, bring him on.
I think that was when he blew off practice in the finals. They were in the finals together.
Yeah.
Yeah, show up and be on Bash on the Beach. Rodman did what he wanted to back then, man. It was not.
And then DDP got a hold of Karl Malone.
Yes, he did for Goldberg's fucking little thing. Like, what's with wrestling and basketball players? I don't understand it.
NBA was hot then.
Yeah, I guess. I'm going to skip the sad one because it's sad, so we're just going to move on from that.
Good vibes today only?
What? Yes, only
good vibes today only?
Yeah.
I'm
not doing the sad one. In 2015, on an episode of Raw in Atlanta, Georgia, probably the biggest and best call-up of all time. Start of the Divas Revolution, even though I hate calling it that. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and who's the other one? Bayley all made their main roster debut. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Bayley.
Sasha.
Was it Sasha?
Sasha and then Bayley.
Bayley got left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she won the title and then she came up. That's right.
Yeah, Bayley came later.
Sasha Banks. It's still one of the best call-ups ever.
Agree. I mean, yeah.
Certainly the most successful one.
It changed the game. Those three, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yes. Lucha Daddy agrees.
Lucha Daddy
says yes.
Lucha Daddy has to refer to himself in the third person all fucking.
All you need now is like that singlet with one strap. Yeah, the one strap singlet. Hope you had chest hair too.
Might as well throw this in here. In 2017, WWE taped the first matches of the inaugural all-women Mae Young Classic. And this had people like Shayna Baszler, Mia Yim, Piper Niven, Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, many, many, many more.
Piper Niven, Dewdrop.
Way back in 2017. How about that? It's weird. Yeah. Piper Niven's a good name. Why'd they change it to Dewdrop?
Yeah, she needs to go back.
Yeah, Dewdrop is done. Get it out of here. But yeah, that's minus the sad stuff, which I'm skipping. That is this day in wrestling history. And birthdays, even though I didn't do any birthdays.
Yeah. Slow day in headlines there, Lucha Daddy, but I know you got a couple of there. So what you got there, Patriot Primo?
Patriot Primo, Lucha Daddy, we'll give you a couple of headlines for today, July 13th. That is today for all you
Lucha Daddy always talk without taking a breath?
Lucha Daddy has no need for breathing?
That's Lucha Daddy's promo. I'll let you get a word in.
So, via F4W Online, Mick Foley has signed a new Legends contract with the WWE.
He's going to be in Chicago August the 5th. He's doing a freelance show.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Kind of want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the Legends contract entails. Obviously not performing, but I don't know what that means. Is he behind the scenes or something?
It basically means that you're just designated as a legend.
It means if Vince calls you to show up for ratings.
Yes. Yeah. That's basically what it means.
Yeah.
If there's a retro Raw or like a nostalgia, what are those called? Like the old school Raws?
Old school?
This is so they can call them up and say, hey, you want to go, have a food fight for July 4th?
Or
those kind of shows.
Claus, we need Santa Claus for December.
There you go. Yeah. So, or some kind of spot. So,
which he loves that. He loves Christmas.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Via ESPN and all other sports outlets today, Big E is expected to make a full recovery.
Now this is good vibes right here. This is good stuff right here, man.
Oh yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
No shit. That I saw that and I was like, yay.
Yeah. It's good news, man. Good to hear. Right.
You don't realize
very
how
happy
much you
about
miss
that.
Big E until you hear his name and you're like, I really fucking miss Big E.
Indeed.
Who is that? A ghost? What was that?
I don't know.
So, via Twitter, WWE is holding a 3-day.
I
don't know what you're talking about.
As you were, we were watching you flip out over a ghost in your room.
Yeah, about a ghost,
or that damn fly is back. One of the two.
It's the ghost of the fly.
Collect yourselves. Via Twitter, WWE is holding a 3-day talent tryout ahead of SummerSlam. For the first time, though, WWE is selling tickets for fans who want to attend and watch the tryout on its final day on Friday, July 29th, the day before SummerSlam, baby.
That's pretty cool.
In
So-
Nashville.
Prices start at $20. You know, $20, $20.
$20.
I mean, $20, you know.
That is pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I
It's
like
a cool
that.
thing.
Sure.
You might be able to see the, you know, they're a collegiate athlete now, but you might see WWE's future star.
Yeah, you might see the future Austin fucking Theory or something.
Nice comparison. Just might.
I feel so bad for Austin Theory. We'll get into that.
So, put your heads together for this one.
Okay.
Do it.
No.
So the final four for the ESPY Awards for the WWE Moment of the Year. The final four have been announced. They're going to be done bracket style. The voting will take place on ESPY's website by July 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The field began with 16 moments, has been narrowed down to these four, which are The Undertaker being inducted in the Hall of Fame, Cody Rhodes returning to WWE at WrestleMania,
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin stunning Vince McMahon, Austin Theory, and Pat McAfee at WrestleMania, and the fourth is Big E cashing in Money in the Bank to win the WWE Championship.
Cody returning. Cody returning.
Cody returning.
Out of those four, it was between Big E and Cody for me.
Yeah.
And I think Cody was it created that much more buzz. But Big E was still a good moment. Yeah, I agree with Cody.
But if they treated Big E a little better after he cashed in,
that
moment might have meant more. But yeah, it's got to be Cody. That was such a cool moment.
Yep.
And that is it for today's headlines for July 13th.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am the Dirty Bird, of course, your host. It's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. AJ and I are going to cover Summertime Rolls, which was last Saturday at Zawa. So we're going to fill you in on that. And then now we're going to get ready for the biggest wrestling party of the summer, as Iron Spirit Pro is this Saturday. And boy, do we have a treat for you today on the pod, everybody. As we talked about, you know, we all have already, who is already basically a legend in Iron Spirit Pro. This guy trained at the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. He's very over in Iron Spirit Pro, and you guys are going to get to know him here today. We finally going to drop that interview on you from CornBoi.
CornBoi.
Yeah, you heard him at the top of the show there, bring us in. So you're going to be hearing that much more. Also, today we're going to be talking about an awesome promos. We always like to talk about awesome promos around here, as we have Promo School. And speaking of Cody, today we have one from him where he's talking about Mr. Anthony Agogo in Promo School. And then lastly, it's time for another one of Primo's picks. It's Kurt Angle versus Shane O'Mac, the famous match from the WWE King of the Ring. I was excited to go back and watch this one.
It is famous.
Yeah, definitely, man. Some good stuff happened here if you were watching wrestling in the early 2000s. So, all right, if you guys are ready, Primo, let's go.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big Beef.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, before we get to the recap and Primo gets us, takes us through Impact Wrestling. Last Saturday, AJ and I went up to Sterling, Illinois, and we had a fantastic time there. We did our first show of 5 that we've sponsored here, and this one was called Summertime Rolls. I was super excited about it. Mr. Havens and Daisy Kill led off the show. I hadn't seen Daisy Kill wrestle yet, so this was quite a treat. Daisy Kill come out with the win, but it was an awesome show. Just some highlights for you. The Drifters probably had the biggest pop of the night. Hatter and Bayou Bill, AJ, I'd probably say was got the big crowd response of the night for sure.
which I like seeing. I had my Mad Hatter shirt on actually, so it's pretty awesome.
You did.
I did.
The Shane Show was there with the Bank.
Bank.
They added a new member, Herrick. The Coyotes were there. They looked really good. Christian Rose and Berna, they were the one that actually wrestled the Bank. But the Bank ended up getting the win there in the main event. But let's talk about what everybody's going to be talking about in Zawa here for a little while. AJ is, first of all, shout out to Zeke and Zawa for taking care of us once again. So
Always.
AJ and I were... they always let us call matches, which we absolutely love doing. AJ's great at it. I just like to, throw in some hilarious commentary if I can.
That's true.
But very, very fun. And we got to call quite a few matches. But the one in particular was we called Gary J versus Anakin Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a hard-fought battle. Anakin's chest was bleeding at the end of this match.
It was gross.
It was gross. Gary come out with the win. Yes, it was. Gary put Anakin through the ringer. I think a hard forearm smash, basically to Anakin's jaw, was the end of the match, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So after the match, Havens comes out. Havens, Mr. Havens, coffee mug, dances with everybody. Has fun, always gets the crowd going into it. There's people in the crowd with signs and stuff like Mr. Havens is just over, right? He's been on the pod. You know how much a nice guy he is, right?
We love him. We love him on the pod.
Well, he comes out to, what we think is congratulate Anakin, and he power slams him. Turns heel, power slams him. Go listen to the clip on Twitter that Power Zawa has posted. You can hear me in the background, absolutely shocked, like not believing what I'm seeing.
It was a little bit of a surprise. And by a little bit, it was... We were like, what? Wait, what the fuck? Mr. Havens?
Big surprise to me. I mean, we've heard stories, that he was a pretty good heel back in the day, but we haven't seen it yet since kind of coming on board here without watching, kind of older tapes and stuff. But so this is going to be really interesting. He told a lot of the Sterling faithful to shut up, go to hell. Nobody was ever there for him. Yeah, he did.
Go fuck themselves.
Yeah, he did.
He really did.
You guys.
You know what? Fuck you guys.
It was absolutely great. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one's going to end up turning out. So, after that being said, good job, Shane Show, by the way. Got the win there for the Bank, those guys. So, shifting to Saturday, AJ and myself back to work. Iron Spirit Pro, biggest parties, biggest show of the summer, definitely for Iron Spirit Pro. We're back at the Station Saloon. One of our last few outdoor shows. I think we're running outdoor shows through.
We got two more. Two
more. Yeah, that's right. So back at the Station Saloon, Bloomington, Illinois. Brubaker, Orion Starlight is the main event. Orion's had a pretty good run here lately, AJ. He's pretty formidable here. Opponent for Brubaker.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tough, man, because a lot of people have stepped up to Brubaker and he's knocked them all down.
Far.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. We got the local guy, CJ Esparza, Bloomington's very own, wrestling one of the Midwest kind of he's part of Team Ambition, kind of a badass here in the Midwest, man. The Quad Father himself, Camaro Jackson. So that's going to be a nasty matchup, man.
I'm looking forward to that. I love Camaro, so that's going to be.
We've seen him a lot. We've seen him a lot at St. Louis Anarchy.
Yeah, he's great every time too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. We got the boys, those damn Coyotes. This iteration is going to be Brooks Berna and Connor Hopkins stepping in to wrestle the Technical Difficulties, who wrestled there once before. They're making their return, so that's going to be a good matchup.
They were super impressive, by the way. Technical Difficulties, they were a lot of fun to watch.
They really are, man. They're very innovative and got a lot of high spots and stuff too. So these guys are going to be good, and it also probably going to kind of be a sneaky match, man. everybody always talks about Mad Dog Connolly, right? Well, me and AJ see him wrestle, you know what I mean? And he never loses. So sooner or later, he's going to be probably in contention to go for the title here, possibly as well. Mm-hmm. But he's got Sabin Gage in front of him. I'm going to just say it, Connolly don't lose in Iron Spirit Pro very much. I haven't seen it happen very often. So that's going to be another matchup. They also had some more announcements today. Etsy Orlandi is coming back. And a few more. But anyway, go to www.ironspiritpro.com for tickets. It's going to be a big show this weekend. I'm excited. We got a brand new ring. It's going to be a big show, man. We got a snow cone cart or mobile truck. The fuck?
Mobile trucks, mobile?
Snow cone, like food truck, big thing out there.
One of them mobile trucks.
Yeah, one of them mobile trucks. So, yeah, it's going to be fun, man. Big show on Saturday. So, let's get rolling with the recap. Primo, kick us off, man. You're up first with Impact and NWA. Oh, sorry. Lucha Daddy. My bad.
Lucha Daddy.
That's right, baby. Lucha Daddy is here.
Lucha Daddy.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, young DB. All right. Moving
DB.
on to Impact. Did that flatter you? You're welcome.
Always.
Impact. Speedball Mike Bailey retains the X Division Championship.
You can't do recap.
Oh my god.
The character.
All right.
I was trying to let you
Okay.
I couldn't. I'm sorry.
So Speedball Mike Bailey retains the X Division Championship by defeating none other than Alan Angels. EY Eric Young makes his return after being gone since Slammiversary. James Storm, after being he just came out of an interview.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, I don't know, that's kind of what was going on. And then he walked into the locker room and Macklin was there. He's like, what up, old timer?
Right.
And so James Storm's like, I'll show you, old timer, you little fuck, next week. So that's what's happening.
I hope he hangs around a little while.
I love James Storm.
I do too.
And then finally, Mia Yim defeated Deonna Purrazzo in a #1 contenders match for the Knockouts Championship.
Did it looks like Violent by Design might be breaking up too here.
Yeah, so
here.
So Diener and while Eric Young was gone, Diener and Doering both had matches against Alexander.
Yeah.
And EY, when he came back, he was like, "Hey, you guys need to refocus. It's about me, not about you guys." Basically. And they were like, yeah, we're sorry. DBD is going to be all about Eric Young. We're going to refocus our efforts. But really, it's like a little bit of ascension, maybe. So.
Yeah, that was all I had for Impact there.
Yeah, that's all I have for Impact as well. And moving on to NWA Power. The famous Race to the Chase tournament.
Yeah, here we go again.
Race to the chase.
It is announced at the beginning of the show that Mike Knox has a first round bye. He basically says that William Patrick Corgan and Matt Cardona said he could. That was basically it.
Yeah.
That's all I have here is the first round matchups because they took up a lot of the time. They're actually some pretty good matches here. We got Tom Latimer defeating Chris Adonis, formerly known as the Masterpiece, Chris Masters.
Right.
Another first round matchup. Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler, defeating the Pope.
The Pope.
I don't know why, but I've always liked the Pope. I just have.
He was always a great promo.
I like him.
Great.
And our final first round matchup. So Billy Corgan last week said that William.
Despite all my way.
He said that last week he lifted the ban on Tim Storm to be able to challenge. Well, this week Trevor Murdoch's like, yeah, I thought it was a good decision. It would be fair, blah, blah, blah. I'm a good champion. And so in this first round matchup, Nick Aldis defeats Tim Storm via DQ because Storm, he bumps into the referee and that doesn't get him DQ'd because it knocked the ref down. But while he thought the ref wasn't looking, he kicked the national treasure in his national coin purse. And then the ref saw him do it. So he got DQ'd.
The national coin purse.
Nice.
and that was basically it for NWA. It was a bunch of first round matchups.
I'm not a big fan of Tim Storm. Like, I understand the lineage and stuff like that, but I don't. His storylines haven't really.
He's out. He's already out of the tournament. So
yeah. So I'm okay with that. All right, AJ, what's going on in AEW, man?
All right, well, shit. I don't have much for AEW. There's 2 matches on.
I have just a few notes myself.
Yeah, very little. It's a light week.
Not much happened. Yeah.
So 2 matches I want to talk about in Dynamite. The first, of course, is the match for the TNT Championship, which was.
Yeah.
Wait, what's it? Wait, what? There we go. Chef's kiss.
Yes, it was.
It was booked to perfection.
Except for one thing.
Interesting. It wasn't a good match by any stretch of the imagination, but it was still awesome because Wardlow just basically destroyed Scorpio Sky as he should have, and claimed his first title, which is also it's going to be the first of many titles. Wardlow is a beast. I didn't like how he just stepped on him to pin him. That bothered me.
Yeah.
I didn't really like. It's like you're a babyface now. You just destroyed this guy. Act like a babyface, but whatever. It was fine. It was right result. I was super excited to hear it or to see it. Like Wardlow was basically fighting like everyone because there was all kinds of distractions and interference and
Speaking of Wardlow, real quick, Primo, we were at Zawa last week. We spoke with Jay Fowler, who was one of the security guards that was one of the ones that took a power bomb from Wardlow last week.
Yeah, how awesome is that?
Yeah.
How'd that feel for him?
He was the last one he was the one that took the last one. So so
I went back
to go watch it again.
I went back and watched it. I'm like, oh, it's Jay Fowler.
That's
pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
Yeah,
it was.
Yep.
And again, the match wasn't very good, but right result, booked to perfection.
Yes, it was. The only complaint was they should have did it at the end of the show. I felt like it would have made a bigger deal. We should have went home with Wardlow holding the title.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like it just would have been a bigger deal. It was kind of like, let's get it in the beginning. Go ahead.
Like, I mean, I realize that that's AEW's thing is like pop the crowd with a big match right off the bat. But they should have flipped. I agree. They should have flip-flopped the main event in the opener.
I think so, too. What are you going to say, Primo?
Yes. So, you know how everybody has had their own color schemes with the TNT Championship?
Uh-huh.
Do you guys wonder at all what Wardlow's will be?
I could give 2 shits less. They should just leave it what it is. I don't like when they change.
I like custom belts.
I don't the like little side plates and stuff like that, but I like the main one to stay. You know what I mean?
I like when they change the strap color.
I liked it when Ultimate Warrior did it for the IC belt. Apart from that, not the biggest fan, but this one's just going to be gray. Like, what other color could it possibly be? Gray. No. Not a fan. Just shutting it down.
Green. He's been wearing green.
Yeah,
maybe it'll be some green or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I look forward to it. Kind of an unpopular promo from Christian Cage. Ooh. And I can't be a hypocrite here because
he's real heel, man. Real heel.
Yeah, and he's garnering some real unnecessary heat. Which I can't be a hypocrite and bitch about Max Caster and then praise Christian Cage. It's kind of the same kind of heat.
I don't remember what he said anymore.
He talked about Jeff Hardy a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right to Matt Hardy. Yeah, I thought that was okay.
It was a little below the belt, but
I mean, I feel like because like Christian's one of the ones like they know each other.
They like know each other.
Know each other. So you gotta think like it'd be like it's for the show, dude.
And again, he probably they talk about it beforehand, obviously.
Yeah.
But when he said, "You're starting to make your brother sound like the sober one," like that was,
yeah, right.
I was like,
I was like, damn,
sad.
Like I lost all like like old Team Extreme Primo would have been like, you can't say that about the Hardy Boys, but now I'm just like, fuck it, dude.
Up next, we have, in my opinion, one of the worst face turns that has happened in a very, very long time that I want to talk about, and that is, of course, the acclaimed fuck off.
Scissor me, daddy!
Like, you know what's weird? Is like, when we meet Max Caster, I'm going to fucking be like, oh, Max Caster, it's so cool to meet you. But I bitch about him nonstop.
Can you ask him to scissor you?
Yo, listen.
I'm going to do that to his face. Be like, do you hear how stupid that sounds?
Listen. He's going to do it right back. He's like, you know how much money that makes me?
I mean, he's a face now, so he's not going to. Yeah, they face turned. It was coming from a mile away, but I did not like it. I hate a match anytime that I'm like, Billy Gunn was the best thing about that match.
I don't mind him being face. I just don't want him to change up the gimmick. Like, keep shitting on people. I love it.
The gimmick's going to change. Like, that they cut it off. Like, I think that was the whole reason why, was it Billy Gunn that cut off his little, listen, garbage?
Yeah.
So I think they are going to change it, which is going to lose them a lot of momentum, I feel like. I hate it, but I know that it's super over.
Sure.
So, yeah, I didn't really like it. I love Bear Bronson, though. He's fantastic. Like, I do. I love him so much. And then we're going to move on to the interim world championship match, Jon Moxley versus Brody King. Earlier in the night, the Dark Order they were in Rochester, New York, which is Brody Lee's hometown. So that was a nice little touch. And then onto the main event, which is Jon Moxley versus Brody King. It was fine. It was a fine match.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought, I liked it.
You thought for a split second that Brody King had any shot of winning, but you kind of knew that he didn't. But yeah, it was fine. It was good to see a championship match. So yeah, it was a fine episode. Nothing spectacular, but nothing terrible either.
Right.
Which brings us to Rampage, unless you guys got anything else for Dynamite.
That was all I had, was just the Moxley Brody match.
So Rampage was basically a Ring of Honor show, which I was also okay with. It was just a bunch of fun stuff. Like Eddie Kingston beat Konosuke Takashita. Did I pronounce his first name right?
I think so.
Konosuke, yeah. Eddie Kingston is so goddamn over. Still, like he always will be. Ring of Honor match, we had Lee Moriarty and Jonathan Gresham versus Gates of Agony, which of course is, which I didn't know their names at first, Toa Leona and Khan.
Khan, yeah.
Which is a pretty good match.
This is Tully Blanchard's new stable here.
Yeah, Tully Blanchard.
Yeah.
Which was cool. It was a good match, and it was cool to watch. Gates of Agony got the win.
Yeah, they need to come up with like a tag team finisher, though. One of the guys just handed him to the other guy, and they did like a power slam or something let's get something going on here.
Yeah, which I think they will come up with something.
Oh, yeah.
Was it here that they talked about Samoa Joe in the Ring of Honor Championship, or was that on Dynamite? I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
I think it was here because, again, this is a Ring of Honor show. And then we, have the main event, which is Orange Cassidy versus Tony Nese with the stipulation that was stupid, so I'm not going to mention it. But Orange Cassidy got the win. Danhausen's awesome. That was basically it for Rampage. It was, again, not real eventful.
But Jonathan Gresham joined at the end of the match. He turned on Lee Moriarty and joined Tully's stable. I guess they'll probably come up with something to call him or whatever. But yeah. So I thought that was a clever move there by both of them. So y'all got anything else for AEW?
Nope, I got nothing else.
Nothing from you, Lucha Daddy?
Lucha Daddy has nothing more for AEW, no.
For I have pooped my pants, Lucha Daddy.
Right. I must go.
For I have shit my pants.
Shit my pants. My pantalones.
All right, WWE smackity down, as the former Primo used to say that was on the show with Lucha Daddy, guys.
Smackity down.
There you go, smackity down. They're still in, the worst state in the Union, Texas. So, but we're still here in Fort Worth.
Shut your mouth.
just the worst.
All right. So did you guys see all right, Romans, we don't need to see none of your dumb Texas shit. Quit looking for it. Did y'all see the new computer graphic of the Usos that they have?
I don't like that.
It looks weird.
I wasn't even paying attention.
The Usos, Romans looks fine, but the Usos look kind of creepy.
They do, yeah. And they simulated point up in the air. So yeah, it looks weird. But all right, so as you heard at the top of the show, Paul Heyman was talking about, Roman comes out first and gets acknowledged. I don't know that he was too happy with Fort Worth's acknowledgement of him, I guess. But anyway, he gets his acknowledgement, and then Paul tells him he's going to have to be the best he's ever been to beat Brock. Theory's music hits, and Austin is standing there with the briefcase just to kind of remind Roman of what could happen if he's beat up too bad after the Brock match. But you heard Paul Heyman, as we came in the top of the show there, talk about that. So they're doing that little bit of an angle where, the wise man is kind of, making sure Roman doesn't take Brock lightly, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. Is it working? Are you guys leaning any more towards Brock than you were last week?
Nope.
0%.
0%. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely zero.
A funny spot on SmackDown. Pat McAfee wasn't there, so Corbin stepped in and did the Nakamura dance.
Yes, but here's the thing about that. So it was Money in the Bank night that he supposedly attacked him a week prior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night, the week prior, and at this point, it's been 6 days, and McAfee doesn't show up to do his job to commentate. However, for anybody that watched UFC, they all saw McAfee sitting there with right beside Triple H right after that pay-per-view. So it's like, what, you can't really...
Kayfabe.
I mean, and what's funny, at UFC, he was in a neck brace.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right, yeah, still selling it, right? Selling it, yeah. Yeah, so so I thought that was kind of funny, but he was just kind of mocking Corbin or whatever, or mocking McAfee. So yeah, so they're just leading up to their SummerSlam match. So speaking of Nakamura, and kind of a funny spot, Gunther punished Ludwig Kaiser because he lost to Nakamura. He chopped the shit out of him.
He sure did. He beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He's like, get back up! Boom! Get back up!
I want to see Nakamura and Gunther feud, and I want to see Shinsuke return to the King of Strong style, and I want to see these two just beat the fuck out of each other. I'm fine if Gunther beats Nakamura at the end, but I think they would have such cool matches.
Yeah, I think they would too. So we get Liv's official champion speech. She's on SmackDown now, which is the belt she holds. So she, instead of Raw, but she gets interrupted by Natty, of course. Ronda comes out, of course, and then Ronda beats Natty in a match. And so that kind of makes me think probably a triple threat coming up soon, something like that, possibly. But another heel turn, Lacey Evans, basically just gets on the mic, tells everybody to fuck themselves and go to hell. You know what I mean? Like that, basically, so I don't know.
She could do that anywhere else. She had to do it in Texas.
Yeah, she had to do it in Texas, so.
Rude ass.
And then I think Drew and Sheamus took us home, but whatever, who cares about that? But the main thing was Drew McIntyre is going to get a shot at the WWE title at Clash at the Castle against whoever is the champion after SummerSlam.
Oh, I wonder.
Brock or Roman,
Who's it gonna be?
Who's it gonna be? Yeah, so
is it Can it be?
So, can I bitch about Austin Theory now?
Hit it.
Okay.
Sure.
So, this is what I want to bitch about. Austin Theory is super talented. And you can tell that he's working his fucking tits off. And they're going to ruin him. Like, he looks like a joke. Like, he's showing the briefcase off in front of Roman Reigns. Like, really? Fucking Austin Theory, stop it. I hate how they're booking him. I hate his gimmick. And it makes me feel bad for him. I realize he's cashing paychecks. But had they just let him... Like, WWE does not learn that when it's a hand-picked person, the crowd's going to shit on him. And Austin Theory's better than that. And it's just going to turn sideways. And I feel bad for him because he's super talented. And I want to like Austin Theory, but I don't. I want him off the screen at all times. It pisses me off because he's good. That's my rant.
I don't mind him. I just know he's going to be the next thing, I guess, or whatever. But so that was SmackDown. Moving on to Raw was still in Texas, San Antonio now.
I'll say it like it's a bad thing.
Babyface Brock is welcome. He's pretty over in San Antonio. They loved him here.
Damn right.
Yeah.
This is a dumb state.
He said, I respect that. I'll take my hat off for you folks.
Right, yeah.
But by the way, that doesn't matter. Like you can keep your hat on, Brock.
Had the fucking like actual ponytail. It looks like a pony's actual tail on top of his head.
So basically, him and Austin Theory, they jaw it up at each other, yada yada. We ended up though with Otis and Gable coming out to try to attack and try to beat up on Brock, but Brock flips the script. Obviously, he beats him up with steel chairs, and then he gives poor Otis. He got the F5 on the announcer's table.
Sold it like a
This
champ.
This was fun.
Big old boy.
Yeah, that's a big fella.
Brock was flexing on this one, but the Judgment Day is recruiting Dominic Mysterio, trying to get him to leave Daddy. What do you think about that, Lucha Daddy?
I like that. Lucha Daddy likes that a lot because the fellow Lucha Daddy Rey Mysterio, he needs to let the little birdie out of the nest, let him do his own thing.
Yeah,
I don't want Dominic Mysterio in Judgment Day. I want someone cooler than Dominic Mysterio in Judgment Day.
Well, you'd get like a dark Dominic, maybe.
He's gonna wear black and purple instead of
619. He can do the 916.
I think the coolest thing that could happen, honestly, for Dominic is for him to go down to like NXT and just grind it out for a while, and then come up with his whole new shtick, new moveset that doesn't look like his dad's moveset. And just like kind of like remove himself from Rey Mysterio.
Sure.
Become your own man.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good move to go down to NXT like that. I think that'd work.
I wouldn't mind Dominic in NXT.
Yeah,
sure.
But I do like the approach that Ben and Damian are doing there. They're like, fuck your dad, bro. Like, come on, come hang out with the cool kids.
Yeah. We're the revolution. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they are the cool. They look like the cool kids.
Yeah.
I love Finn's Long Boys. They're so with the purple like fucking belt thing.
Okay, so Miz and AJ looks like we're headed to a SummerSlam match.
Turning my mic off.
I like this.
Miz and AJ.
Mike's back on. Wait, you like this?
Miz and AJ as a match for SummerSlam?
That's
it's not going to. It's going to involve Logan Paul and.
Well, I hope not. But if it's a one-on-one,
oh yeah,
I'll take it. But if Logan Paul is like in the corner or a tag team partner, or Logan Paul and AJ going to be together to go against Ciampa and Miz,
Wait, are they going to try and make Logan Paul a babyface?
He already is. Even though he's one of the most hated men in the nation,
just reviled.
Sure, I like Miz AJ matchup though.
I would take that because it's new. Like,
yeah,
we haven't seen AJ fucking Miz, but I don't want Ciampa in there. I don't know what they're doing with Ciampa. I want to see AJ Ciampa. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be a thing.
It would be a thing.
Next up, Almost is teaming with the Usos.
It sure is. You know why?
Cause you're the twos and we the ones.
Now there's 3 of them. They can't be the one.
Yeah. Well, they beat R-Truth.
Almost is not the ones.
No, they beat R-Truth and the Prophets.
I did. I like how R-Truth came out and he's like, they were talking shit on him. He's like, "Oh, y'all want to whoop my ass? All right, let's go, boys."
R-Truth is still the best at comedy.
He's great.
Of all
always
time.
been amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. He's always, and the man doesn't age. The man doesn't age.
He's a vampire.
No. He's like 60 years old.
Yeah. So, main event of Raw in San Antonio was Lashley and Matt Riddle.
Acknowledge.
They together beat Theory and Seth. Post-match, though, we got a Dolph Ziggler return with the super kick party, and he, jumps in and or super kicks Theory, should I say?
Yeah, he was all like,
What up, bro?
So, I have to say that I liked face Dolph in this situation. I didn't want to. I'm like, it's fucking Dolph Ziggler, but he turned face.
I love it. I just love Dolph Ziggler. I always have. So.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of Dolph.
I'm happy to see him.
Like heel Dolph, but I was glad that he came back as a face. Came back. He was only been gone for like 2 weeks. But again, my problem with Theory. Why is Theory losing right now? He's supposed to be the Money in the Bank winner, like the apparent heir apparent. Why is he eating a pin?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why book that?
I mean, I think they think he's protected carrying the money in the briefcase because he's gonna have a hot storyline anyway. But yeah, like he shouldn't be losing. But you know what I mean. Even though they're a lot of times the next biggest thing, they still make them take their lumps, and I don't know. But all right, moving on to NXT. A couple notes here. JD McDonough, which Primo, I believe that's his original music. I think he's still coming out with the same music. Yeah, which is fire. I like it too.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, that's dope. Looks like him and Cameron Grimes.
To the moon.
Nope. I still won't do it. I'll do it one of these days.
Looks like they're gonna start a feud. So that looks fun. Solo Sikoa. What's that?
Yeah. I was just saying, because they're trying to sell that Braun's shoulders hurt or something.
Yeah. Solo Sikoa had a big match with Von Wagner. It didn't finish. Bunch of debauchery, double DQ, I think, is the way it ended. So, yeah. All right, and then debuting next week, I kind of have the blue here, a wrestler named Axiom. You guys see this?
Yeah, it's formerly known as A-Kid.
There you go.
Interesting.
But he's like a superhero,
it's like superhero type. Yeah. He's a mask wearing a hood, I think. Main event though, Mandy, she retained the title versus Roxanne Perez after Cora Jade turns on her, and they are the tag team champions together. So this is going to be a weird.
So what's funny about that is because the whole storyline was earlier in the night, Roxanne Perez had gotten jumped in the parking lot, and they were doing the whole who did it all night long, and I thought it was funny they tried to pin the blame on the Don's family, and he was like, no. Well, why would they have nothing to do with that? So
right,
but also I actually saw this coming because Cora Jade was taking her place in the NXT Women's Championship match to challenge Mandy Rose. And right when Cora Jade was coming out, Roxanne Perez shows up. She's like, no, I got it. And I kind of saw that coming, oh, Cora Jade's about to turn.
Yeah, pissed. She's pissed.
What do you guys think of Mandy Rose's title run so far?
It's been better than I thought it would be.
I like it.
Yeah.
You like Toxic Attraction?
I don't like the name.
Not as a whole, but her as a champ.
I like Mandy Rose.
I just wanted AD to say it.
I like she's got to have some girls to kind of protect her, help her keep the title, cheat to win, yada yada. But I've been totally okay with the run. I'm liking it. Yeah, She's hot as shit too, man. So it ain't bad to look her on the main event every week. But
she is.
So there's that.
Easy on the eyes.
Yeah. But yeah, she's definitely gotten better as a wrestler. You know, decent, okay promo. You know, yeah, she's probably held it longer than I thought she would. I'll be honest. You know, so
she's had it for like half a year now.
Who's going to take it off of her? Who's taking it off of her?
I honestly have no idea.
Right now, who's taking off her? Nikita Lyons?
I'd be okay with that.
No, it's not.
Just throwing out some
Catanzaro. What's her name?
People that are kind of hot. Good God, no. She's
Indy Hartwell.
There you go. Yeah, she'd be good. She's
good.
getting a kind of a face push a little bit right now. So
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that'd be decent. So
not
all
Casey
right.
Catanzaro?
That's going to do it for our weekly recap.
I do like them.
Who, Catanzaro?
Yeah.
They're
Hayden
like-
Carter and Catanzaro.
Were they
Yeah.
like shooting smoke guns or something when they
I
come
don't care
out
for
now?
that.
Is
I
what
just
they're-
like them.
The little spooters.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's all I care about is when they come out and shoot the gun.
No, I
They
think-
remind me
I
of Bang
like
Bang
them.
Bart.
More
me love, ladies.
All right, it's time for another one of Primo's picks. It's time for the Dropkick Discussion.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer.
This is Space Jesus Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks Podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks Podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks Podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
That's right. We still are.
We are.
There's that son of a bitch that turned heel.
He's the Argyle assassin.
There's that fucking asshole. No.
Yep, I knew he was going to show up.
Love me some Havens. Yeah, he's
So-
just
he's
Havens
so
fan.
awesome.
All right,
So
Primo.
awesome.
Let's what awesome match did we watch this week, brother?
Let's get down to it, baby. So we had a street fight. A street fight, I say, from WWF King of the Ring 2001 between none other than Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon.
None other than Shane McMahon.
Yeah, none
None
other
than.
None other than. That's why I said that. So, so this match, this pay-per-view took place on June 24th, 2001. It was at the Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey, with 17,777 in attendance.
Nice.
Thought that was a pretty interesting, funny number. We had JR, Jim Ross, and Paul Heyman on the commentary. That's JR and Jim Ross are the same person, people.
They are.
All right. So Kurt Angle
Paul
competed
Heyman is Paul Heyman.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And Paulie dangerously, all that stuff. Okay. Kurt Angle competed 3 times during the night. First match, because it's along with him doing this street fight, he also competed in the King of the Ring tournament. He was in the semifinal match against Christian to open up the show. And then he was in the finals against Edge, but lost due to Shane McMahon's interference, which led to Edge. That's why Edge won the King of the Ring, 2001 King of the Ring. And then, of course, he had this brutal street fight against Shane McMahon, which was second to last on the match card. This match later on would be known as Match of the Night for this particular pay-per-view. Moving on, we have just 2 things for the entrance. I just want to say that Shane's baseball jersey said, because I always like to look at what his baseball jersey say.
Yeah.
It said Super Mac, Kurt's Kryptonite.
So stupid.
And then I just put that Kurt Angle's entrance was just like iconic. I've always liked his entrance with the fireworks, the pyro. So that's all I have as far as the up to the beginning of the match. What do you guys got?
So what I have is I liked the build of the match. I liked the reason for it. I did back then too. I hated Shane O'Mac, and I hate him. I hate Shane O'Mac now. I cannot take him seriously in any capacity, like at all. And it was especially bad back then. But I agree with you with Kurt Angle's entrance. It's still one of my favorite entrances of all time. And that's really all I had for now, except for the fact that I literally wrote, God, I hate Shane O'Mac. And that's about it.
Okay, for me, first thing was, and we talk about this all the time, I watched the video package they ran to start this match, and all of a sudden I'm like goosebumps, chilled, ready to watch it again. Another one they just absolutely hit out of the park. If I hadn't watched anything about this whole feud, you know what I'm saying? I go back and I watch that video package, just basically everything in a nutshell. Like it tells you why they're pissed at each other. Just beautifully done. Beautifully done. Also, my second note was, back in the old days when they used to make cool sets for every damn pay-per-view.
Oh, yes.
This when they had the big electric chair for King of the Ring. It was like an electric chair throne type looking thing, but was very cool. Then my last note up until the match started was when Shane come out, obviously young, obviously, very still kind of green, but I think you could definitely see the nervousness on his face to start the match. And then Kurt, fucking just phenomenal shape. Like Kurt was just like
gross.
Rip City,
gross
dude.
shape.
Rip
Amazing,
City.
dude. It's like, yes.
Yeah. So that's what I got up till the start.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the match here, shall we? Kurt Angle comes straight because like I said, Shane interfered to make him lose King of the Ring, and also they've just had this boiling heat since Shane had interrupted Kurt Angle's medal ceremony. That's what kicked off this whole feud to begin with. So Kurt Angle comes out to his entrance. Pyro goes off, but Kurt takes off the medals and just beelines the ring, gets in the ring, and immediately tackles Shane and begins to pummel him. There's a hill, like right there at the beginning. Shane McMahon does this hill trip. It's like a facebuster hill trip. I thought that was pretty unique. You don't see anybody do that. So he catches Kurt Angle's leg, Shane does, and then he hits him with a stiff punch. Well, that's why in this next spot, Kurt Angle gets in an amateur wrestling position to bait him in.
Mm-hmm.
That was real. Kurt was pissed. So he got him to get in the ring. He gets on all fours in the amateur wrestling position, and as soon as he got a hold of Shane, he was like legit beating the shit out of him for a second, and because he did just bust him open with a stiff punch. That's where the blood came from, right there at the beginning.
Right off the bat, yeah.
I wrote, Kurt Angle has some of the cleanest and explosive belly-to-belly and German suplexes.
Absolutely.
The second time, Kurt tries to bait him in with the amateur wrestling stance, but Shane doesn't fall for it and is able to mount some offense there.
Yeah, he kicked him in the side.
Yeah, right in the side, yep.
Yeah.
Shane gets on the barricade. So this was kind of interesting. Shane gets on the barricade behind JR and Paul Heyman, and he jumps over them, over the table to land on Kurt, and then immediately grabs a kendo stick and starts going to town. This is when the brutality starts getting entered into the match. When Shane goes for the pin at one point, Kurt keeps kicking out with a neck bridge. So he would kick out and then would do a neck bridge to keep his whole body off the mat. And then they would just they repeated that, I don't even know, 2 or 3 times. After a while of destroying each other in the ring, they take the fight out to the stage area. Shane is able to hit a suplex on Kurt Angle on the ramp, and you could immediately tell Kurt was actually hurt, just so the way you could see the look on his face, the way he was holding his lower abdomen. Turns out he broke his tailbone there. Kurt, I thought this part was funny. So right after that spot, they both get up and he whips Shane into the stage prop. Well, JR and Paul Heyman are like, they knocked him into that thing. They couldn't think of what it was called. They legit called it a thing.
Yeah. The thing holding up the stage.
Yeah, they're like, that thing, and just knocked him into it. Now comes the part that everybody remembers from this match.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first belly to belly. He goes to do the belly to belly to Shane McMahon through the glass King of the Ring panel, and Shane doesn't go through. He's upside down, back against the glass, and spikes his head into the concrete.
He slid down on his back, but right on his head,
Right. And then but Shane tells him, do it again, and Kurt successfully is able to belly him through the glass the second time.
Yeah.
Now they're inside behind the glass, and they tried to do the same spot, except back towards the ring. And after 2 failed attempts, and both of them being wore the fuck out at this point, Kurt just grabs Shane by the back of the head and puts his face through the glass and just throws him through. They make sure that the glass breaks this last time. So Shane seems to be knocked out from this, and Kurt gets kind of aggravated because he's like, it almost seemed like he wanted to stop the match right there, but he realizes, Kyoto's telling him, no, you got to do it in the ring. You can't pin him on the stage. So he goes and gets a hold of the rolling top box and puts Shane on the rolling box and rolls him to the ring. Puts him into the ring, and you think at this point that Shane's so damn, busted up and knocked out that he's just going to get the 3 count, or Kurt's going to get the 3 count and match be over. But Kurt actually kicks out at 2. Then he gets a trash can lid and starts whipping the shit out of Kurt with it. He busts him in the face with this trash can lid 3 or 4 times, and then hits an angle slam on Kurt. I'm pretty sure they're both concussed at this point. And then, but for the finish, Shane McMahon had been monkey flipped to the top turnbuckle. Then Kurt grabbed this rectangle sheet of plywood and just started beating Shane with it. And then in this moment of genius and trust in this plywood board, he puts it on top of the top rope across it, like a triangle, and he as a platform, and he gets up there and does this super angle slam, which is one of the coolest angle slams I've ever seen, and throws Shane McMahon 3/4 of the way across the ring, and then ends up getting the 1, 2, 3 for the victory, and that was the finish.
Go ahead, AJ.
Okay, so I've never done any research on this match before, and because I just watched it and love watching Shane McMahon get the shit beat out of him. But so I did, and I saw that the whole Kurt Angle story about how he got legitimately pissed and was like, all right, motherfucker, I'm going to fucking own you like I should because I'm Kurt Angle and you're goddamn Shane McMahon. That's always bothered me. Any Shane McMahon match, it ruined, because I like to suspend my disbelief when I'm watching my wrestling shows. And I like to think that the fights are legitimate, because that's part of the fun. Anytime Shane McMahon is in the ring, it ruins it for me. I'm like, Shane McMahon is a joke. Why is he rabbit punching? And people are they have to sell that. Kurt Angle, the wrestling god, has to sell Shane McMahon's offense, which pisses me off. So I love the spot when he got back in the ring and was like, all right, just come on, let's go. You want to throw potatoes? We can throw potatoes.
Yeah.
The suplex on the ramp, I don't I want to blame Shane McMahon, but it's not it's obviously, it was just a freak kind of landing, so I don't think it was really his fault. He wasn't being dangerous or anything like that. But yeah, you could tell that Kurt Angle was fucked. And then the fucking sugar glass. I love the story behind the sugar glass.
Yeah,
that it ended up not being.
Yes. So all day, Vince McMahon was adamant that they stay away from it because it was supposed to be so delicate that they're like, stay away from it, stay away from it. Yes, Michael, boss's son. I fucking hate that about Shane. But so when they did it, and he doesn't go through, it's one of the most famous spots in wrestling history, obviously. But that scene in Billy Madison where they throw the pickles at the window to see who's will race to the bottom
just slowly
first.
slides out. Yeah,
that is, every time I see that spot, that's what I think of, because just Shane McMahon just slumping down, and then they do it again. And I get that Shane McMahon didn't want to blow the spot again. He was green and he was in there with, again, a wrestling god. So he's like, do it again. So just the fact that they did it again and again until the plexiglass fucking broke. It shows a lot of moxie from old Shane there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then I agree with you about the finish, the Kurt Angle, the angle slam. It's one of the best. He throws Shane McMahon a mile, launches him.
Yeah, that's a long fall, man. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna say something about that too. But
that's what you get with Shane McMahon matches. That's the one and only reason to watch them is to watch Shane McMahon go from one spot to another spot that's way the fuck far away.
Yeah,
he does it every match. That's his thing, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, and that's how he's gotten himself over. jumping off the cage. A couple times, the spot where he was wrestling.
Steve Blackman knocked him off
Blackman,
that thing.
Yeah, knocked him off. Yeah, I mean, so that's why, the coast to coast move, that's what we've gotten to love about Shane, so.
Look how young he is in there here.
I know, right? Are you finished, AJ? Or you got any more?
What?
You have any more?
No, I'm good until the Smelly Mark rating.
Okay. Yeah, so a funny thing I wanted to say that JR goes, the young WCW owner is going to suplex school.
Suplex school.
I missed that. That is fantastic.
Yeah. Kurt Angle was like the mayor of Suplex City before Brock.
Yeah.
Like Kurt Angle was like the founder of Suplex City.
Right.
Brock just kind of showed up one day.
Another thing, too, speaking of Shane's high spots, he hasn't done them in a long time, but he was doing moonsaults here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that was kind of cool to watch, too. Okay, so the suplex glass spot not working and then working, but looking super cool when it busted. You know what I'm saying? And then not working twice was the reason that most people remember this match, right? You know what I mean? Like the spots, but like you take that out, it's still a fucking awesome match.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like but that's what we remember because it was like, oh, like had it worked twice both times, or like as it's supposed to both times each way, you know what I mean? Like to perfection,
it would have been just another part of the match.
Just another part of the match.
But it still would have been a super cool spot.
It still would have been a cool spot, especially because the way that when he went through that first one, the way it kind of busted was kind of like really cool looking. You know what I mean?
Just shattered, yeah.
Yeah. But this made me always remember this match, and then when coming back through when he tried the suplex twice and didn't work the third time, he went. Kurt was just like basically put him face first through. Coming back through, as you can see the replay, coming back from the other side, when he comes back through the glass the second time or after the third time or whatever, But that was wild. But the angle slam off the top rope, first of all, poor Shane, yes, but
right.
He had to be so damn sore the next day, but man, that looked so cool. It was a great finish, great spot. Like I wasn't like totally, like, oh, that finish kind of sucked after all that craziness that happened. But no, it didn't. The match was fantastic. Both guys laid it out there. Shane, he did awesome to be so young, and it's great to hear stories that he pissed Kurt off and I'm sure he was happy as shit when that match was over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all I got, man. But it was great to go back and watch this one. It was exciting. I was still intrigued, and once they started going up the ramp, I'm like, all right, here we go.
Right?
Yeah. Here we go.
Now the bollocks.
Yeah, here we go. But all right, boys. So we've watched it. We've reviewed it. Now it's time to rate it. Primo, Lucha Daddy, this was your pick, man. Why don't you go first here?
Yeah, so my pick, I actually am a fan of Shane O'Mac. I always have been. For the reason that, I was a Daredevil kid growing up. My older brother used to be able to tell me to jump off anything, and I would.
Yeah.
So that's why, I was a fan of Jeff Hardy, Shane O'Mac, just for these, all the death-defying stunts. And, I thought this match was really cool, and then of course all the stories that came afterwards. Kurt Angle has gone on to say that this is one of, if not one of the most brutal matches he's ever taken part in, and For me, I'll be honest. I mean, it holds up.
Yeah.
And I love this era of Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Like we said, the invasion was about to happen here.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Invasion was like just beginning.
Mhm.
That Booker T came out later that night.
Yeah. After the match was over, you heard JR say, "This might be the last time we see Shane McMahon on WWE television," because, he had basically bought, in air quotes, bought WCW out from under his dad.
WCW. So yeah, for me, it's 9 out of 10 smelly marks.
Nice. AJ?
So my hatred for Shane O'Mac is well established. My love for Kurt Angle, especially this era of Kurt Angle. Like this era of Kurt Angle, he's, in my opinion, one of the best in-ring performers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like him and Bret Hart, maybe, or like, and I hate to put Brock Lesnar in that category as well, but I'm going to put Brock Lesnar in that category as well. But just it's peak Kurt Angle, and it's a fantastic match. Like you said, it holds up. Like it really, really does. It's still so much fun to watch. I had a blast watching it. And then knowing what I know, like after the research that I did about it, knowing what I know and then watching it made it even better. Like the fact that he legitimately pissed off Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle was like, "All right, motherfucker, I love that. I absolutely love that." So I expected not to like this as much as I did again, but I did. So I'm going to give this an 8 smelly marks out of 10 smelly marks.
Yeah, this match for me, like I said, I thought was fantastic. In prime, top of his game, Kurt versus a young green Shane McMahon who, basically laid it all out on the line there, and I'm gonna hate to say it. I'm gonna just say this. Sometimes when I watch these matches, a little bit of my rating is replay value. How good is it to go back and watch it? And this is one of those that's up there. So I was at AJ with an 8, but just because this is one of those you could go back and always watch it, it's in that category. I bumped it up to an 8.5. You know what I mean? Because, it holds up, holds up over time. Not only the match itself, but there's a lot of little stories intertwined. And even if you didn't even ever see or know about the little stories entwined, you don't have to be a wrestling fan to know that, hey, Shane's supposed to go through that fucking glass.
Right, yeah.
He's not supposed to.
You're like, oh, that didn't go well.
Right, yeah. So you're watching that like, oh, shit. And then he goes through it the second time and like, oh, okay, damn. And then, oh, shit, they're right back there again. One time you think he's going back to it. Like, oh, yeah. So, 8.5 for me, man. This is good shit, man. I love it.
Yep.
Great choice, man. Great choice.
So I saw one interview that was like, well, no fucking wonder Kurt Angle hobbles around the way he does now.
Jesus Christ, yeah. No wonder he was addicted to painkillers for
he was all
15
in,
years.
Man. Yeah, he was all in. So great Dropkick discussion there this week from good old Lucha Daddy Primo there. Next week, Michael joins us, and we're going to be watching rating and reviewing 3 Stages of Hell. Austin versus Triple H from No Way Out 2001. That one's going to be awesome to watch because I haven't watched that one in a while yet either. So
I have a confession about that match really quick.
Right around the time. Go ahead.
I watched that maybe 3 months ago because it's one of my favorite matches of all time.
I've watched it so many times.
I fucking love.
When you said last week that you love this feud, I was like, does he know we're watching this match?
No, yes, I've watched it. I fucking love this match. I can't wait to review this match.
Yeah, I love it because I remember it being good, but I'm excited to watch it back because I haven't watched it in quite a while. So looking forward to that one. So that's going to do it for the Dropkick discussion of the week. It's time to move on. We got a nice promo school here for you today. This one goes back not very far, not very long ago. May the 12th, 2021.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, 2021. This was when Anthony Gogo had not long been signed with AEW. They were trying to pick him up to, kind of be a major player, before the injury happened. So this was kind of, the start of his push. Looked like Cody was probably going to, we thought would maybe put him over. We don't know, you know what I mean? But Cody, nonetheless, cuts a very classic promo, as good as he is, as we know he is, on Anthony Ogogo here. So I found this one to be fun and very classic. Just reminds you how good a storyteller, I guess, Cody is here. So check this one out, man. This promo school from Cody from May the 12th, 2021.
Anthony Ogogo has run down and verbally buried the United States, and he's done it with such vitriol in his tone. He's talked about the anger, the argument, the division, and the irony is that Anthony has a visa courtesy of the US DOT. Anthony collects that great green courtesy of the US Treasury. He's afforded all the same rights we all are to do and say what he'd like. That's freedom. That's America. You talk about division, you talk about anger, you talk about the argument from the outside in. We hear that all the time. Take it from an American, the argument is what makes us who we are. Sure, there's anger in every pocket, but our empathy outweighs our anger. Let me ask you, Anthony, you didn't come here to live the England dream. And I don't mean to disparage across the pond. They sure know how to make a wrestler. I've wrestled some of the best. Whether it's Doug Williams, Little Gabriel Kidd, or even one of the best in the world right now, Pac. It's 1986. I'm a country music fan. Willie Nelson came out with his song, Living in the Promised Land. He said, send us your tired and weak, we'll make them strong. Sing us your far off song and we will sing along. Well, here's where I stopped singing. I stopped singing when you balled up that Olympic medalist fist and you put it between these ribs here. You like to educate. You like to pontificate on what the U.S. is. Allow me to turn the favor. The industry that you joined, it was an Italian immigrant who was world champion for 4,040 days. There's so much to behold here. There's so much to love here. The dream lives here. What about a 16-year-old man? A 16-year-old man who comes from Pakistan, patents and invents the single-piece bumper, and enriches and cultivates the lives of everybody literally in the city that I am standing. Prior to 1961, in Atlanta, Georgia, there was segregation. Blacks and whites could not attend the same schools. And in 2021, in the very same city, my wife will give birth to a beautiful, white, a beautiful black American princess who will have both identities, shun neither. And I want her to know. I want her to know I didn't just lay down under another man's flag. I didn't just have this defeatist attitude when somebody ran down the United States. I got up off my ass and I fought back. And here's where we're going to do the fighting. At Double or Nothing. Tony Khan has already told the world that at Double or Nothing, we're going back to full capacity. Wrestling fans, Wrestling fans returning to their seats and returning close up. Thank God. And on that night, it'll be Anthony Ogogo versus myself, but he will not be wrestling the American Nightmare. Because for one night, I'm going to pick up a sword that is all too heavy, but it's either me or my brother who have the right to pick it up. So for one night, Justin Roberts, this relates to you. Nothing on presentation's sake will be different. It comes from deep inside. As I said, at Double or Nothing, it will be Anthony Ogogo versus the American Dream, Cody Rhodes.
Well, we're fans of Cody here, especially in promos. What did you guys think about that one?
You know what pisses me off about that promo? Is the fact that that kind of promo was buried in WWE under Stardust for how many years? Because, like you said before, Cody Rhodes, he's fantastic. He is absolutely fantastic. And, yeah, I love that promo. I love it so much. Yeah. And the fact, and like when he announced, I remember watching that live. Obviously, it was like 2 years ago. But when he announced that he was going to be the American Dream, Cody Rhodes, I was like, it's so cool. I love it. I love it. It's awesome.
Primo?
Well, let me talk to you.
Oh, God.
So
that was going back.
Yeah.
That's right. That's about how far back when this episode came out, where we reviewed this exact promo, baby. So we loved it then, and we love it now. I remember we were marking out over the American Dream thing. It's still cool. People give him shit because they think that he inserted the whole thing about racism in there for like no reason. But
yeah,
he was about to have a baby, so like,
yeah,
fuck off.
Like a mixed race baby, like
right. So he was able to like make that make sense there.
Sure.
But some people give him shit for that. Other than that, I don't personally give him shit for that. I think it was a great promo. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And the fact that he said, I like that he says in there, like, only me and Dustin can have the right to do this.
To claim that sword.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant. Fucking love that.
Yeah. This was good, man. I always feel like Cody's promos are all good because they tell a small story. He gets the point over, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I thought this was another good one from Cody. So yeah, so promo school, always good, always delivers a good promo. We'll see what the next one will bring us. But now it's time, you guys. We've been waiting here for a while. We had the pleasure of speaking with CornBoi. Just actually not too long ago, just a few days ago. CornBoi, as you will hear in this interview, very prominent in Iron Spirit Pro. He's been seen in AAW, SCW. Super cool guy. He's been friends of AJ and ours since we started working for Iron Spirit Pro now. This interview was great. It was a little different. He does do some of the interview in character, you know what I'm saying? And he does, but it's interesting to learn a lot about Kevin Gutierrez himself, KG, as we've called him. But yeah, this was a very good interview. It was nice to learn, to peel back the mask, so to speak, of the CornBoi, because he does wear a mask, just like Lucha Daddy here. And right. we asked him about the corn gimmick evolving, that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, this was a great interview, wasn't it, boys?
It was fantastic. I fucking love CornBoi.
Thoroughly, like, if I see, I'm removed from the Midwest. I don't live there anymore. But if I still lived over there, CornBoi would probably be my favorite independent wrestler. He is such a fantastic dude to talk to hear his story, and just his energy. His energy is addicting.
Yes,
it's fantastic.
Yeah. As he will tell you, and as we say too, he is a Black and Brave Academy graduate, of Merrick Brave and Seth Rollins. So it was kind of interesting to learn, because we had some questions about the Academy. So without further ado, so to speak, let's get to it here, man. It was finally nice to talk to one of our friends, CornBoi here. We've been talking about bringing him on the pod, and we finally got to talk to him. So Check out this interview with Midwest-based professional wrestler CornBoi. All right, today's guest is a graduate from the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. He's been seen in promotions such as AAW, SCW, and many, many more. But he is, to us, the most over man in Iron Spirit Pro. The fans go nuts when this man hits the ring, but most of all, this guy's a super great dude. Everybody, welcome to the show for the first time, the CornBoi. What's up, brother?
First time, first interview. Let's do it. As the kids say, let's go.
Hell yeah.
Word according to Shook. Sco.
So, CornBoi, tell us, man. So how old are you, man? How long you been wrestling now since you've graduated the Black and Brave Academy?
I'm 30 years old, man. I've been on this journey since 2011. I've been on and off here and there. I have I like to condense it to 4 years of experience, 5 years of experience. You know, usually you get a guy approaching me and like, oh, how many years have you been in the business? I like to condense it down, you know, lower the expectations. But yeah, man, I've been on it for a while, man. I took a breather here and there, but once I figured out I was the shits, I decided to get retrained by Seth frickin' Rollins in 2018. So here I am now, evolved and become the corn that I am today. Did I answer your questions? Sometimes I'm rumbling, so I'm just, yes.
That's wonderful.
That's okay, brother. We love it. We love it. So, CornBoi, man, like one of my favorite things about you, man, is when I see you on the day of the show, you know, with Iron Spirit Pro and other ones, man, you're like always ready to go, dude. I can tell that you love this shit, man. So tell us exactly, when did you fall in love with wrestling, man? Like what got you going?
Oh, man, I was 14 years old, man. I wasn't a fan of wrestling at the time, you know. It was 2006, 2007, around there, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, you know. So I'm like, you know what? Being a professional wrestler sounds really freaking cool. After playing a video game of SmackDown versus Raw, 2006, the idea of creating your own character, I like that. I really dig that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to become a wrestler every single day, you know, do something towards that goal. And then as the years went by, I felt like I became a better person because of the business along the way. Sure. So like along the way, I just like added like theater to my repertoire. I joined sports because of it. And, you know, I just started evolving, and then I started becoming more intimate into this business. So yeah, man, like HBK, Cena were the ones that really hooked it for me, you know, at WrestleMania. Okay. 23 at Detroit. So I saw that and I'm like, you know what? I want to be the next HBK, man. I want to be the main event, the headliner, the icon. So that's what I always strived for. So
yeah, dude.
That's actually really interesting that you started playing sports to better your wrestling career. Usually it's like you don't hear that often. Like people are like athletes first and then like, I'll try wrestling, but you became an athlete in order to better your wrestling career. That's really cool.
Yeah, man. If I had the choice to eat chips and just sit down all day, I totally would. But I have ambitions and goals, and I needed to prepare. I took swimming, water polo, cross country. I tried football. I couldn't do it. I tried amateur wrestling. I couldn't do it. But you know what? I knew what this business entailed, and I got ready to the best of my ability. That's how passionate I was for this business at a very early age. Yes.
Yeah, man. I love that too. So, all right. So you said you were the shits. You went back and got yourself retrained. I mean, obviously, you know, for anybody that don't know, you know, you graduated from the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. The Black comes from Tyler Black, aka Seth Rollins, and then Brave comes from Merrick Brave. So, you know, what made you choose Black and Brave? Was it, because of Seth, somebody that's in WWE? Was it close to home? Like, what made you choose there?
Oh, it was definitely close to home. It's only like 3 hours away from Chicago. I was never a huge Seth fan. Out of the Field members, I was personally more of a fan of Dean, but I knew Seth. I knew what he did. I knew how powerful he is. So I'm like, you know what? After OVW, I knew that wasn't enough training. And I understood what Seth was at the time. And I just needed to get trained by the best, man. 5-time WWE champion, you know, the credentials speak for itself.
Sure.
So it was no brainer for me. It was either that or go all the way up to Lance Storm Academy. And that's a long trip to Canada. And I can
go all the way up to Canada.
Right.
Lance Storm.
But, you know, it's only 3 hours away. And thank God I came to Black and Brave, because at this point the money is priceless, man. Like the whole experience is priceless. Like, I'm glad I came here instead of Last Storm Academy. But yeah, man, his power, his name, you know, he's good, he's powerful. And once you earn his respect, he's pretty much nice to you. So
nice. What was the hardest part about the Wrestling Academy?
Man, like the conditioning, and for me it was getting lined out of the ring. So like clothesline out of the top rope, I always landed on my shins, on the back to back 2 times. The conditioning wasn't that hard, you know. It is what it is. I prepared for it. I expected to be huffing and puffing for my life, but no, yeah, it was just that, really. Just hitting my shins over and over again. Like, that's tough. It's a tough business, man. Like, at some point towards the end of the class, it's like it's about survival. And at the end, I was really just trying to survive and just not get hurt.
So do they at the beginning, like at the beginning of class, do they try to burn you out to see who really wants it?
Yeah. So the first day, it's like the performance center drills. You'll do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 whatevers, as long as you could. And then they just try to weed you out, man. They try to see how bad you want it, who really wants it. Because you believe me, some people show up not lifting a single thing, not running a single mile, and they expect to get right through. And then you just see Seth just like angry, like, you expect to come here and just do this and be in shape? How dare you?
That's a great Seth impression.
It's all rusty, but yeah, it's fucking it's rough, man. It's
was there anything about it that surprised you? You know, that, you know, it kind of things that you guys did that you thought, hey, I didn't think I'd be doing that at Wrestling Academy.
Oh yeah, like Seth being around all the time surprised me, because before I even came, I even emailed Merrick Brave. I'm like, how often is Seth Rollins at the gym? And he's like, he's there as much as he could be, and pretty much every week if he's not obligated to do WWE stuff. And that surprised me, because during that time, that's when he was chasing the Intercontinental Championship with Finn and Miz, and he was really around all the time. It was pretty intimate. And the thing that surprised me the most was, out of nowhere, he just wanted to give me a back body drop on the spot. And the amount of trust he gave me to nail it right away, it was like, whoa, like there was more moments to come like that. But the fact that he trusted me for a back body drop, or anytime I was in the ring with him face to face in that square circle, it was like a moment, like, what's going to happen? What is he going to do to me? So like back body drop, like that back, like it's recorded on the Black and Brave thing. Like that was a moment for me. Like,
have you took a curb stomp?
No, not yet. I've taken a or a bro kick from him. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice.
I like alleys on what he does and what we don't.
Yeah. All right. So earlier you said that you went back and got trained, and now you're the CornBoi. Give us the story, man. How did we get to CornBoi? How did that come along? And so, yeah, just tell us how we got here.
All right, man. So 2018, right? I was a student at Black and Brave. It was like, let's say week 6. I get called up to do extra work. I would like to say I'm the first student who had WWE extra work as a Black and Brave dude. So I went to go do extra work, and I'm chilling, lingering at Gorilla. And then Drew Gulak is right by me, and I'm just asking questions, soaking everything up like a sponge. And I asked Drew Gulak, hey, I want a job here. How do I stay here full time? So he starts giving me advice. He's like, oh, aim for these big promotions, you know. And then he started explaining psychology to me. And then he was telling me the difference between the characters in the match is what makes the match. So he was giving me an example of John Cena. You know, John Cena is this, this, and this: hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up. And then he was asking me for like an example. So off the top of my head, I'm like, okay, what if there's this guy selling corn in the streets of Chicago trying to make ends meet for his family? And then Drew Gulak kind of popped a little bit. And then next day I went to class. I trolled Merrick about the story. And then I told him about the corn idea that I told Gulak. And then he popped, Brave popped. He's like, ha, I would book that on my show. And then I'm like, oh, that's a brilliant idea, you know? So I know what Merrick Brave likes. So I recently watched Nacho Libre, and I'm like, you know what? For the sake of learning psychology in this business, I got to create a character. So since Drew Gulak popped, since Merrick Brave popped, I'm like, I'm going to run with it. I'm going to be as Nacho Libre as I can. So just to get booked, just to get consistent with the psychology. So that's what I did. I just ran with the corn and took that idea out of those examples, and here I am, just ran with it. And then along the way, I added pieces from my past, and then it just connects, and it's this whole synergy. And then, yeah.
So that was an awesome story about how CornBoi was incepted. How do you go about creating or designing your own custom mask to fit CornBoi?
So the first mask I had, I like to believe things come naturally to me in the wrestling business, like a musician where he's just chilling and then the music just comes to him. So Latin Thunder originally gave me the first templates. I'll show you.
Okay.
For the first mask. So out of nowhere, out of the blue, Latin Thunder created this butte.
Wow, nice.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
okay, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, this added legs to my career, no doubt about it. But yeah, Thunder gave me this. He's like, yeah, some guy made it perfect to the T. And yeah, ever since I got another one, obviously, from Lady Lucha. Shout out to her. She makes like gear for Sky Blue and Dante Martin. But yeah, and now I just copied what Thunder does. And yeah, you know,
that's
getting
cool.
gear is something I'm barely evolving into. So little by little, you know, I like to upgrade. I have to.
So you've had, just looking at both those masks, you've had long hair for a while now. It looks like.
Colby was like, specifically, grow the hair. You know, like, grow it.
Yep.
It works, you know, when you get punched, you're like, oh, or, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You want to do the AK, you're like, all right, let's go, you know? So
and plus, you kind of look like a corn sprout hair, like coming out the top, you know, so it fits the gimmick.
All pieces together, man.
Yeah, dude.
My career, man, like just anything natural that pieces together, I run with it. That's how the greats do it, I assume. I hope.
For sure, man. All right, so CornBoi, you're picking up more dates. You're starting to get booked more. Where does CornBoi want to go as an independent wrestler? Everywhere?
As an independent wrestler, everywhere. You know, I learned long ago that WWE isn't the be-all, end-all, and I wanted to learn how to love the indies. And I'm really loving the indies. I want to be everywhere, you know. I'm good friends with Steve Manders. If I want to hop in a car with Steve Manders, I'll hit him up. I'm okay with Conan Lycan. I'll hop in the car with him. But you know what? At the end of the day, I just want to go everywhere. I don't care about the end goal anymore. I just want to enjoy the indies because I know I could really be good in these freaking indies, you know?
Yeah, we think so too. We think so too.
I mean, the pops you get kind of prove that out, don't they?
They do.
You are doing something.
I know, man, but you know, it's not enough, man. Just like entertainers, man, we want more.
Yeah, right. It's like a drug.
It is a drug. It definitely is. Yesterday, I was thinking that, like, every time before I hit my entrance, I literally feel like fainting, and I'm like, maybe this is the feeling like. And then, yeah, I get in the ring, start screaming, and I feel good. You know, it's a good feeling. Nothing else.
Yeah. So on the indie scene, while we're talking about it, you know, do you like the mix up of, you know, because in Iron Spirit Pro, where we work, obviously, you know, you're in a tag team there a lot of times with Rip Studwell, but, you know, in a lot of other promotions, you work in singles, you know what I mean? So do you like the mix up of both, or do you kind of like one more than the other?
I like the mix up of both. I used to be just, I like singles matches, singles, because I felt like that's where the magic's made. But, you know, the longer you're in this business, the more you find out you're wrong about things. And I like tag matches, man. Like, it makes my job a lot easier, to be honest. Like, the guy could get his ass beat, and then I could be like chilling, or it could be vice versa. But like tagging with Land Thunder or Rip Studwell, like, I appreciate more tag team wrestling. Like, I'm really coming around with tag team wrestling. It's fun. Like, I still prefer singles because, you know, I'm in control.
Sure.
Tag, there's only so much you could do, you know. Like yesterday, even in that tag match I was in, like, there was only so much I could do, you know. And I mean, that's the only difference. But I enjoy both. Yes.
Speaking of tag teams, how did you get hooked up with Daniel of Rip Studwell? Like, how did that come about? Because the pairing just works for you two.
Oh yeah, it just worked, man. Like, it's funny, man. He's in the ring freaking out, anxiety, and I'm like, look at me, we're good, we're gonna do this. It just came out of the blue. The booker, the promoter of Iron Spirit Pro, just honestly needed two bodies, and he's like, all right, you and Rip look funny. Let's put you guys together. And faced each other numerous of times, so I knew how he behaves. I knew what his weaknesses are, and yeah, we just made it work, man. I mean, we have the same sense of humor. We're both old money fans, so it's like we'll just crack about that in the ring and just make it easy, man. Like, he's a good guy. He's a good character, man. But you know, that's how it came to be. Iron Spirit Pro, just grab two dudes and just making it work. And we made it.
Is there anything like inside or outside the ring since when you first decided you wanted to become a professional wrestler up to this point that may have surprised you that you maybe didn't know that you actually really like?
The traveling, for sure. Like, in the beginning, you know, you hear about traveling 5 hours, 3 hours, 8 hours, and then part of you kind of dreads it.
Right.
I love writing with people, you know. It's you get to know them. It's like, it's literally, you have no choice but to get to know this person. So it's like just the journey with this dude, this random person, and then, you know, the stories, the music, the things that happen along the way, you know, that's what I like the most. The camaraderie, you know, getting there and then coming back, talking shit, what happened in there, and talking about the match here and there, you know, that surprised me the most, because over time, it's like, you have to learn how to love these tribes. At the end of the day, it's inevitable as a wrestler. So, like, yeah, there's things I had to learn how to love, and I'm surprised how much I like drives now with people, because it's like I'm a therapist, man. I'm getting to know this guy. This guy's
cool.
Stuff to me, I'm revealing stuff to them, and then we're just bonding. That's it.
So,
go ahead, AJ.
Really quick, you mentioned music. Like, what's on CornBoi Spotify right now? What do you play?
Yo, man, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Korn.
Yes. Oh, my 90s guy right here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I like Run the Jewels. Sometimes Coldplay. How sad. The Strokes. Metallica.
Yeah.
Motorhead. Yeah.
Solid.
While we're talking music, you come out to Mr. Brightside by the Killers a lot. Why that song?
I'm a huge Killers fan. And everything prior to me coming out to Mr. Brightside, it's always been Korn, Freak on the Leash, Thunder's Genetic, generic music, Mexican. But no, I love the Killers, and I thought Mr. Brightside had like a good like setup for an entrance, and people love it, and it just works. It's just one of those, like I just throw against the wall, and it sticks, and I'm gonna run, and it gets people singing and going, and who doesn't love the Killers?
It's one of those songs that you don't think would work as a wrestling theme, but it does, and it kind of goes with your whole appeal somehow. Like you wouldn't think it's Mr. Brightside by the Killers, but it goes with your entire aesthetic somehow, and I don't understand how that works, but it does.
Yeah, I mean that's just my MO, man. Just grab something, make it work. And
it works.
That connect to it, then it should work. So
CornBoi, man, if somebody's listening to this right now and they've never seen you wrestle before, how would you describe your style?
My style of wrestling. You take a luchador, you combine them with Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, and Chris Jericho. I come out with Korn. I do the flips. I do the screams. It's very high energetic. Very, very high energetic. I'll get in your face. I'll get very real. It'll either be mask or no mask. I'm very untraditional when it comes to lucha libre. But yeah, man, expect yourself to stand up at the edge of your seat. Expect yourself to tilt your head and wonder, what the hell am I looking at? Because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get me standing toe-to-toe with a person who could wrestle. You're going to see me standing toe-to-toe with a person who is 10 times taller than me. That's the type of guy I am, man. You throw me in any situation, I'm not going to flaunt away. I'm not going to coy. I'm going to be good. That's my style, man. That's who I am. Improvising master. That's what I liked.
That's awesome.
That was accurate as well. For anyone who hasn't seen CornBoi,
thank you.
That is 100% accurate. It's frenetic watching you.
Frenetic, yes.
Frenetic.
CornBoi, looking at the indies, man, tell me, who do you want to wrestle on the indies before, say, you get signed or go on to another promotion? Like, who you looking at in the indies right now? Like, I want to mix it up with that guy.
I want to mix it up with Steve Manders, man. He's been stealing my corn, man. I'm the Corn Belt Cowboy ever since corn came around, man. So me and Steve Manders, we're long overdue, man. We were supposed to tag a couple times, but a match with Steve Manders, the gatekeeper saying, hey, I want him. Automatically, I want to say Dean Ambrose, but that's a given. But sure. Steve Manders, more of like hit that along the way. It's pretty much just Steve Manders, man. I can't think any other luchador, I'll wrestle anybody.
Sure. So outside of wrestling, man, is there a shoot job? What do you do outside of wrestling?
Yes. So my father owns a landscaping business. And I work for him time to time whenever I need money. When I need money, I go to Chicago and I help him out in his business. It's blue collar work, very hard work. You wake up at 5 o'clock. Sometimes you get off like at 7 p.m., just cutting grass. Very generic, very stereotypical, but it's the truth. I landscape with my father, and I'm glad I'm blessed that I have someone like him to support me along the way and support him along the way. He's been around doing it for like almost 20 years. So it's something I love doing, being outside, it's my element, I get a tan going, hard work,
right?
Go home, go to the gym right after. That's it.
Stay in shape for the day job. Sounds nice.
Pretty much. If I had no ambitions, if I didn't want to be a wrestler, landscaping is something I would be doing every single day, and I'd be okay with it. I can't.
Yeah. You like any other sports, man? You like football, MMA?
I only care about the sports when there's like a big thing going on, like the World Series or the playoffs, and then I like to talk shit about the teams that people care about. That's about it.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
So you're like a trolling fan.
Yeah. But like I got my teams, like Chicago, like I go for the Sox. I'll go for the Bears. I'll go for it's mostly those two. Whoever won the Stanley Cup, Blackhawks. Yes.
Okay.
But not really into sports. I'll watch it if there's like a big fight in MMA or anything like that. But
so let's talk about your social media here for a minute, CornBoi. You're posting up a lot of you eat a lot of pizza in Iowa.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah. Where are you getting that pizza from?
Ooh, Lopez Pizza. All right. It's around here. It's not that far from Black and Brave Academy.
Okay.
Best Lopez Pizza. Colby's Seth Rollins' family owns it. It's the biggest slices of pizzas you could imagine. I've never seen anything bigger than what they have here. But yeah, it's the best, man. Sometimes they dedicate pizzas to certain wrestlers here. Like JT Energy had his own pizza, disgustingly enough. But yeah, Lopez Pizzas is a wrestling theme place too. So, you walk in there, there's a WWE pinball machine signed by Seth Rollins. There's always wrestling playing off the TVs, like old school wrestling. They're always playing AEW live. They're always playing WWE events live. So you're around the area of Davenport, come to Lopez Pizzas, man. That's where I go. I go every week. Sometimes they give me free food, but we'll see.
I was gonna say, I know you go there a lot because you're posting a lot from there. So you always make me hungry when I see it too.
It's good, man. They have more areas, so I check that out, man. It's freaking great if you're a huge pizza guy.
So you watching WWE? I'm sorry. Go ahead, AJ.
What would be on a CornBoi pizza?
Oh man, you put a bunch of corn. You gotta put spinach. All right, and then you top it off with some pizza ranch, and that's about it. The card's subject to change, but I'm working out the kinks. But definitely, I'm thinking of another corn object to put on it. I'm gonna talk to the cooks.
Put like random stuff on there. It's gonna be like cookies on a pizza or something like that.
Maybe like a cookie, something to throw people off. It has to be that one thing.
All right, CornBoi, we're going to throw you off to Primo here. He's got some questions for you that we always ask our guests here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about your career, and we're going to talk about some Iron Spirit Pro too as well. Go ahead there, Primo.
All right, CornBoi. So you answered a lot of our other in the ring questions. Let's get outside the ring a little bit here. So first off, I'll just jump right into a popular podcast question we have. Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris?
I say Chuck Norris, man. I heard a lot of crazy stories about Chuck Norris, man. I've seen him in Expendables. He's not somebody to fuck with,
Yeah.
So, I don't know enough about Bruce Lee, but I've seen his ass in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he looked like a bitch. So
he did get beaten up by Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It was a great movie, man. I love that movie.
Oh, so next up we got pancakes or waffles.
Ooh, I'll pick pancakes, man. Well, pancake, dude. I always go to Village Inn. I always get the ultimate with pancakes on the side. Always.
That's good.
Oh my CornBoi, you have no idea how happy I am to hear you say that, because no one is ever on my side. I'm always the only pancake person. And everyone's like, waffles. They have little things for syrup. It's like, no, fuck that. Pancakes are better. So thank you.
So we know you like pizza. We know you like pancakes. What is your favorite food if it isn't one of those? And are there any foods that you won't eat?
Come on, man. I gotta say corn here, man. No, but
it'd be weird if you were like, my favorite food is beets.
Tacos.
Oh, I love tacos.
Tacos, man. I'm a taco enthusiast. Take me to a place, I'm gonna test their tacos. I'm gonna try those tacos. I'm gonna let you know, compare them to other tacos, man. You give me a fucking taco, man.
We will get along very well. I love tacos.
Everything on it. Salsa. Fuck. Forget about it.
And is there any foods that you don't like?
Liver.
That's fair. Do you have any weird food combos? Like, do you put ranch on your eggs or anything?
ketchup on scrambled eggs, is that normal?
That's pretty normal.
That's pretty normal.
It is
kind
now. It is now.
I like to test the boundaries of mustard. I like to see what mustard could be good on. If there's mustard around, definitely.
0 calories mustard.
Yeah.
Like throw mustard on a donut or something. Like, why not?
Yeah, just try it out. But weird combinations, man. Like, I can't really think of any on the top of my head other than just trying things with mustard right now.
Corn goes with everything. So,
yeah.
When you first get up in the morning, so you just wake up. You did just wake up actually recently. So, what's the first thing you drink? You drink water. You drink an energy drink. You drink pre-workout.
I drink this gallon, you know. I always have a gallon of water right by my bed right here, man. I always get dehydrated. I drink that once I get up. Go to the can, take a shit, obviously. But, and then immediately go to the gym. I like to work out in an empty stomach. That's how Becky Lynch does it. And I like to think I did it first. But we'll see.
She got it from you.
Right. So you talked about how much you like you've grown to really like the traveling. When you're logging all those miles, what is your favorite breakfast joint? Is it IHOP, Waffle House, Denny's, Cracker Barrel?
It's gonna be Casey's, man. It's gonna be Casey's. You know, Steve Manders got me into Casey's. You know, I wasn't a Casey guy, but every time you go in there, the coffee's on point. They have the breakfast pizza. And pizza, right? I'm thinking about it right now. Craving.
Yeah, and let me tell you, CornBoi, too, man. The burritos are sneaky good, dude.
Well, I think I've tried one actually. I've tried, but yeah, there's a lot of sneaky things that are in Casey's that are really great. And if Casey's isn't around, a IHOP or a Denny's, something like that, will definitely do. You know, I want to go to a Waffle House. I haven't been in that in a long time. Won't put a one.
I don't blame you. What if somebody were to approach you today and say, "Hey, CornBoi, I want to write a biography about you"? What would the title be?
Write a book. That's what it's because it's an inside joke around here. So, like, all right, when I was a student, my fellow classmates would like pick on me, right, or just give me shit. And my comeback would be, shut up, write a book. Write a fucking book. And then they never let that go. So now every time they're like, you're actually going to write a book. Like, yeah, I'm going to write a book that says write a book. And then it's going to say, fuck you or some shit. So
that's awesome. I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
That's the best answer to that question that we've had so far.
I agree. All right. So will CornBoi, what would it take for CornBoi to ever become a corn man, and will that ever happen?
Yo, man, I gotta shake off this name, man. I know. I want to be a man now.
Corn man.
Corn man.
That can make me in a man. But I don't know, man. It's one of those things. I just gotta transition along the way into a man. You know, it's just I gotta get through some more fights. I gotta get through some more conflict, and you know, change the name into man. Right. Feel like maybe a death match will
be a corn man.
Ooh.
What about Sir Corn? How about Sir Corn?
Sir Corn a lot?
You get knighted.
Better. Senor Corn.
Senor Corn. Oh, I like that.
Senor
I like
Corn.
that.
I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change it.
You start naming your moves after corn stuff, like the husk or something.
Yeah. No, I got. They're always up here. They'll pop up.
All right.
Trying to think, man.
Yeah, last question I got for you, and I'll pass you back to the boys. So we're in July now, 7 months into 2022. What has been like the vibe for CornBoi in 2022? What are you trying to portray to everybody?
You know, I'm progressing here, man. I'm evolving here. I'm a freak of nature. I'm a threat here. You know, I'm under the radar for now. But as you could see, the momentum that I'm building, the gear that I'm making, the muscles that I'm building, you know who trained me, huh? I'm built to go up. So the vibe is Corn is getting up and up and up, and eventually I'm going to get what I want.
That's
you
right.
know?
Corn
You know,
gross.
I've been in this business for a while, man. Something's got to give, you know? I just got to keep my head down, keep my nose clean, and keep moving forward, and we're good, man. That's the vibe.
I like
That's
it.
the vibe.
Love it. Love it.
CornBoi, I do want to say, like, speaking to that, like, you're on your way up. So I get the pleasure of doing color commentary for some Iron Spirit Pro shows, and your matches are far and away the most fun to call. I think that's a testament to like what you bring and where you are going. They're so much fun to call because you're so innovative and you engage the audience so well. So I just wanted, I don't really have a question to follow that. I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, it's so much fun to commentate on your matches and to watch them.
Yeah, because we're just having fun. Well, I'm having fun. You know, that's how it should be. I feel like after a while, if you're not having fun in this business, what's the point? You know, that's it. You just have fun and we'll feel it. You know, shit.
That's right. All right, so CornBoi, the last time you were at Iron Spirit Pro, we did a show at a baseball stadium. It was called the Corn Crib. Now, you know, how cool was it to wrestle at a baseball stadium, one, and be named the Corn Crib, you know, two? Do you have a bed there now, or are all your meals free there? You know, if not, they should be.
All of my meals are free there. Absolutely. Like it or not, I'm going to go there. I'm going to treat myself like the king of kings of corn. But yeah, it was really badass. I've never done that in my entire life. Throw a first pitch for a baseball game in a minor league game. You know, I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but it was definitely like up there for me career-wise. Like, this is pretty cool. This is where my career has led me to this moment, and not a lot of people get those moments. And it was definitely something I would remember forever. Like, I kept the ball that they gave me to throw, and that's something
I was the one that got it and gave it to you.
Yeah. It was freaking cool. You know, I wrestled in the baseball park, and I got a couple of views, but that's not what it's about. But I loved it, man. Like, that place was made for corn and corn only. So the word corn. So
it was cool, man, because you're kind of in a special club now. There ain't a whole lot of wrestlers, man, that's just throwing out first pitches at baseball games. So, you know, so that's kind of cool, you know, in itself, you know, right there. So, so let's talk about Iron Spirit Pro too. We kind of briefly talked about you and Rip Studwell, you know, being a tag team there. You guys haven't had a whole lot of success. But, you know, I feel like, you know, well, definitely the crowd is behind you without a doubt. Like you heard me say, you guys are the most over in Iron Spirit Pro. You know, why do you think that is, man? You think, you know, like, how come the wins aren't coming?
The wins aren't coming because we were never originally a team. You know, we always faced each other here at SCW Pro. We were always enemies. I always made fun of them and all that shenanigans. And, you know, here, Iron Spirit Pro, we connect. We connect with the crowd because we're having a good time. We're having a good time, but we're trying to get wins. But I think maybe it's because we're having too much of a good time and we're not focusing on the wins. We do need to work on some tag team maneuvers, that's for sure. We got to talk more. We got to communicate more. Like, we barely got a name together. I think it's like Ripped Corn. I think that's the name we've come up with after all these years. But that's what
Corn Studwell.
Corn Studwell, Ripped Corn.
Stud Corn Rip.
Good stuff, man.
Corny to say the least. But I think we gotta focus more. We gotta work on more tag team maneuvers, man. We're fun, but we gotta get down to business. And I think training with Drake a little more will help. Calming him more will help. Yeah.
All right, CornBoi. So I got some questions for you, man. And we're going to let you out of here, man. You talked about, you know, Heartbreak Kid and Cena. Are those two guys like your dream matches?
Oh, absolutely. HBK all the way, man. Shawn Michaels, man. He's the reason why I'm specifically here. I wanted to be like Shawn Michaels. And John Cena was that guy, like, you know, everybody wanted to boo him to be cool in Chicago. So along the way, you know, he defeats your heroes. And then you're like, damn, you represent something bigger than just my heroes. You represent never giving up. And then there was a match he had with never giving up on it. And you know what? That's when I broke a tear. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it.
So what are you watching on TV, man? You watching AEW, watching WWE? And also tell me, out of the big promotions, where do you think CornBoi fits in the best if you got signed today?
All right. I watch everything I can. AEW, WWE, Impact. I got to scout, man. I got to see what's out there.
Yeah.
Watch mostly back old stuff too, like Ring of Honor and old stuff like that. AEW, really, I feel like I'm better than most of those people that are on TV. That's for sure. Me and my coaches always watch what's on AEW Dark, and we cringe real hard. And sometimes I laugh. I'm like, damn, that should be me. But it's okay. There's no rush here. I feel like AEW would be the perfect fit. I don't have to be CornBoi. I know there's a Jungle Boy, but I could just be Kevin Gutierrez. Nonetheless, there's no one in AEW like me, so I think it would definitely work. Give me the time, give me the place, I'll run it. I will not.
That's right. So how's your summer, man? Are you busy? Are you wrestling at least once a weekend, a couple times a weekend? Like, how's it been so far?
So far, for sure, wrestling like 4 times a month, 3 times a month, This month it's been this month, like SEW, like so far every week I've been having a show. Last week we had a show on Saturday and Friday. And then yesterday we had a show, and then next week we got a show. And then I got another show on Wednesday, and then I got Iron Spirit Pro on August 20th. Some corn related place.
Yeah, Sweet Corn Festival. Corn Festival, yeah.
Tailor-made.
Yeah, you're probably wrestling twice that day. I'm just letting you know.
I would assume so.
I'm ready. I don't care. I'll do it 5 times. One time I wrestled 8 times in a show, man. I'm ready, man. Nothing's gonna that, man. But yeah, right. That's the gig. That's the gig. That's going, man.
Well, before we let you get out of here, man, plug all your socials, CornBoi. Let everybody know where they can catch you on Twitter. What shows you got coming up in the next week or so that we can see you at.
All right. So it's Da CornBoi with 2 I's. All social medias are the same like that. Insta, Twitter, TikTok. I don't trust it, so I don't have it. But same. Yeah, Facebook as well. Kevin Gutierrez, CornBoi. Next show, like I mentioned, August 20th, the Corn Party Festival gimmick thing.
Sweet Corn Fest.
The Corn Fest. I will be there. Look for me there. Iron Spirit Pro. Otherwise, you could just type in .CornBoi on any social medias, and you'll find me. You'll find me on YouTube too. Just type CornBoi versus whatever. You'll find it. It's there. Yes.
Hey, CornBoi, is there any arenas, any famous places you want to wrestle before you're done? Like MSG, the Garden, maybe the Tokyo Dome. Like, what's the aspirations? Maybe AAA arena.
MSG for sure. I've heard stories about Madison Square Garden, man. And that place is just magic. Talking about it already giving me magic. I've seen matches there. I've never been there live, but I figure it's like Allstate Arena, but more bigger and better. And because Allstate Arena is like crazy wrestling fans. They'll let you know how they feel, but
yeah,
I feel like Madison Square Garden is like, it's a whole nother level of magic that I really want to experience. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. So.
That's right. And anybody that has made it there, man. So that's, that's some big aspirations there, man. So I love it. But CornBoi, man, I tell you what, dude, it was glad to finally get you on the pod, dude. You're one of my favorite guys on the indie scene. I always love running into you, dude. I can tell that you love wrestling, and I love people that love wrestling. So in an indirect way, I just said I love you, but I don't know if we'll go that far. But but man, thank you so much for being on the pod today, dude. I hope that anybody that hasn't got to see you wrestle yet, or maybe not know anything about you, learns a lot more about you now, man, because your passion and fire is unmatched. It's top tier, man. And I love it, man. Never lose that, brother. Never lose that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the interview, man.
Absolutely, man. Go check out CornBoi on the independent scene. He's in the Midwest, like I said, AAW, SCW, and we'll see him at Iron Spirit Pro at the Sweet Corn Festival, August 27th. CornBoi, thank you for your time today, brother. Say goodbye to the masses.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sit Down Marks.
Well, there it was, the interview with CornBoi. He is not going to be at Iron Spirit Pro this weekend, but he is coming back August 27th for the big Sweet Corn Festival that we're going to be having a wrestling show at. But it was cool to get to know, the shoot job, all that kind of stuff from CornBoi here. But man, did we have fun with him or what, man? This was fun.
He was so awesome. And oh, by the way, see this gigantic water bottle? This is inspired by CornBoi. I just recently bought it because he reminded me, because he talks about, how much water he drinks. And he reminded me that I've been perpetually dehydrated for my entire adult life. So I was inspired to buy one of these fucking water bottles that says how much water you're supposed to drink throughout the day. So thank you, CornBoi, for helping my health. It's very nice of him.
Yeah, I just loved it so much. You learned a lot about him. You learned about the whole gimmick, the corn life, brother. It's all about that corn
life.
Yeah, the corn life. You got the corn dogs, the ethanol, all that.
That's right. Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to see how he come to it because promoters were telling him, "Hey, we would book that on our show." Yeah. So he just kind of went with it, and it fits. You know what I mean? It fits him. And let me tell you, man, this guy is just over in Iron Spirit Pro. He's a great baby face. The kids love him. The parents love him. And just I can't say it enough, man. AJ can vouch. When we say this a lot of people, man, he wants it, but most of all, man, he has a great personality, man. He is just a great dude.
He's fucking awesome. Like he really was.
Yeah. Really just a great dude. Always willing to help out and just cool shit, man. Always up for anything. So, it was great. So looking forward to, seeing CornBoi on down the road. But if you ever see him booked on one of the shows close to you, man, go check him out, man. You will not regret it. He has, like Primo said, man, the guy's got energy for days, and he is just exciting, and he loves wrestling, man, and you can really tell. So thank you, CornBoi, for joining us. All right, time for my brand new game here called King of the Mountain. You ready, Lemmy? Kick us off here.
Time to play the game!
All right, so my brand new game is called King of the Mountain. We're going to be picking obscure professional sporting events, MMA events, sometimes wrestling events. This week's particular event, as the boys have seen, we're going to be picking a Mexican La Liga soccer match. Now, this match is going down Saturday night, Central Time, 7:05. So the game goes down between Guadalajara and Santos. Now, these two clubs, yes, why? Well, there's always going to be a connection to wrestling with me somehow, okay, on these games that I pick. So Guadalajara, Santos, obviously Santos Escobar, the leader of El Legado Fantasma at NXT. So there's my wrestling connection, Santos, Guadalajara. AJ, Primo, and I are all going to make picks each week to see who can get the highest streak going for most wins. So we're all sitting at 0 right now. We're about to make our first picks. So I'm going to go first just because I already got my – we lost AJ. But I'm going to go with Guadalajara for this one. Primo, what's your pick, sir?
Well, I got to agree with you there. I got to go personally with Las Chivas, Guadalajara.
All right, there you go. I'm going Guadalajara.
I got to go with them. Took my Ancestry DNA test, and they said I'm 100% that perfect picker. So I got to get it right, and that's why I picked Guadalajara. Also, I'm like 29% Guadalajarian, so.
You are. That's a pretty accurate percentage. 29, How come it wasn't 30?
That 1% went to Puerto Rico. So.
It was. All right, we lost AJ for a second, so we'll truck on. Hopefully he jumps back in here and we'll get his pick. So as if AJ were here, it's time to close the show.
This is Sabotage, and you're listening to Sit Down Marks Podcast.
All right, so AJ is back. So let's rewind. AJ, Primo's pick was Guadalajara. Mine was Guadalajara. AJ, what's your pick?
Opposite of you guys. I'm going with Santos.
You going with wrestling-related Santos?
Hell yeah. Right. Well, plus, like we're privy to the same information. Their last, 5 matches? Loss, win, draw, loss. Way better than loss, draw, loss, win. Fuck that shit.
There you go. All right, so those are our picks. We'll see who can get in the streak going in the win column next week. So, all right, but for real this time, AJ, it's time to close the show.
This is Sabotage, and you're listening to Sit Down Marks Podcast.
Well, Marks, every Wednesday at this time, you can catch us live right here on YouTube at around 6:30-ish Central Standard Time. And then we are, of course, available at all podcast locations, Spotify, Google, so on and so forth. Leave us a review if you feel so inclined. We sure would appreciate it. Also, we are right before the Thomas Bryce Show every Friday at 6:15, who is, I hear, the number one. He's fantastic. Love Thomas Bryce. Also, we have merch. tpublic.com/stores/sitdownmarks. That site again, tpublic.com/stores/sitdownmarks. We have new designs made by one Mr. Lucha Daddy himself, and it's currently free shipping for about the next 6 hours. I think. So if you wanna order some shirts with free shipping, get to the getting, because free shipping for about the next 6 hours.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Go check out that new Thump logo coming to a sticker near you.
Love it.
All right, Primo.
Bumping and bumping. All right, Primo.
El Lucho Daddy. It's time for that preview next week.
Bring it on in so Lucha Daddy can talk to you about the preview next week. My picks roll on with a review of Austin vs. Triple H in 3 Stages of Hell from No Way Out 2001.
What is that voice?
It's Lucha Daddy Thunder. I don't know.
All right.
It's like slightly Dusty Rhodes, kind of.
Or it's like if Dusty Rhodes and The Rock had a baby and someone gave that baby a bunch of speed.
I'm crying.
This was a long one, too. You got to read for a minute.
Here, Dusty Rock, have some cocaine.
The boys will fill us in on the weekend at Iron Spirit Pro. The undead one, Mago, none other than Mago.
None other than.
Returns with the latest promotional rankings, and he will join AJ and DB to try and see if he can win at Lucha Daddy Primo's music class, which returns next week as well. AJ pulled a major upset and beat DB last time, so next week will be fun. SummerSlam is coming up in just a few weeks, in case anybody's excited. But fear not, we got that shot of adrenaline you need, as next week we're going to have a major announcement about an upcoming guest. That's right, just a teaser. Let's just say this particular wrestler is on Impact Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Stay tuned, folks. Announcement will be coming next week. For all the deets, your boy Lucha Daddy will get it back to you. Thank you all for downloading and subscribing.
I just danced like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to drop that one on you. This is going to be our first Impact signed wrestler here, man. I'm excited. Wish I can say it, but we're going to wait till next week and drop it on you. So make sure you guys tune in next week. One last time, though, this weekend, Iron Spirit Pro, Bloomington, Illinois, Saturday at the Station Saloon. July the 16th, outdoor show. We got food, we got booze, we got snow cones, we got professional wrestling. You got your boy, the Dirty Bird and AJ. We got a brand new ring. Get your asses to this show, man. Biggest party of the summer. You just never know what can happen, man. It's going to be awesome. And one other announcement, and we'll be talking about this much later. Your boys have just signed on to be one of the sponsors of Dreamwave Wrestling, returning to Peru, Illinois, August the 20th. This is going to be a huge show. We'll be talking about this a ton coming up. I can't thank Jay Repsol and Hartenbauer and those guys all over there for bringing us along on this beautiful return of Dreamwave. It's a full circle story kind of for me because, you know, as you heard me say before, when I first moved to Illinois, I guess it's almost 9 years ago now, Dreamwave, I was excited about coming to, you know, a hotbed for independent wrestling. Dreamwave was the very first show that was running. As soon as I could get here and go to a show, I went to it. It just hit different for me. Midwest wrestling. Like I said, I love my, you know, Southern wrestling, but, you know, like when I came out here and moved to the Midwest, it was just like, you know, it went to another level for me, and Dreamwave has a lot to do with that. So we'll be talking about that later. So they are making a big return August 20th, and we're going to be right there, a part of it. I couldn't be more excited. Me and AJ are fucking pumped, man. I like, yeah.
I think I might make a weekend out of it.
It's a big show.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like Dirty, like I remember when you first started at the bar and we started like talking about our wrestling fandom. You were always like, we need to go to a show. We need to go to a show. We can go up to Dreamwave in LaSalle. So you were, even back then you were talking about it, and I remember that very distinctly. So I'm super excited about this show.
Yeah, it was great. I walked into this hot-ass Knights of Columbus building, and there's like 350 people in there, and I fell in love when the bell rang. Like, it was just...
How cool was that?
Just magic.
You know, you're talking about a promotion that you know, it kind of was introduced to you when you got to Illinois, and
sure.
And now all these years later, we're sponsoring it.
Full circle, the podcast is alive and well and great, and Dreamwave has allowed us to be a part of it, and it's crazy amazing, man. And
it's very exciting, and I said, it is a big show. If any of you want to see they are dropping the roster on their Twitter. If you guys want to go check that out.
Yeah, they are. What we say? Max Caster, Hartenbauer, Alex Hammerstone.
Yep.
Zeke is wrestling that night, I think. Vic Capri, Brubaker, CJ Esparza. Just a huge night, man. We're going to be talking about that more. Jay Repsol, we're going to have him, the promoter, on to talk about that show. But, yeah, it's just going to be a huge night, man. And we are just ecstatic to be a part of it. And, it's going to be fun, man. Looking forward to it. One last time, thank you to CornBoi for being on the podcast, brother. Like I said, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, man. And we was happy to have him on it. And I can't wait to see his ass in August when he comes back to Iron Spirit Pro. So with that being said, boys, you guys got anything else before we go home here? Lucha Daddy?
Nope.
Lucha Daddy has nothing for the upcoming week other than be safe, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and enjoy wrestling.
What wouldn't you do?
Sounds like a way to go. All right, AJ, take us home.
Grab them cakes.
Grab them cakes. Oh, what's all you do? Grab them cakes. Listen, I don't care what it takes.
Is that your dog doing a late run in there?
Fucking dog. Yes.
Well, dog just stole the show.
Yeah. We're done now.